Hi, I'm in Sunderland, Kiel Square. I'm with Children Matter and just doing a little bit of a broadcast for them. And we're going to have a little word with Barbara. Hi, Barbara.
Hiya.
Can you just a little bit about today and a little bit about yourself? And
Well, today is mostly about the children that have come about, but mostly as well, I've lost my son. He was murdered 14 years ago in South Shields, Tyne-and-Wear, and the police officer involved in the murder investigation on the Golden Hour was Mark Costello, and they left Lee to die in the street, and I had to bury Lee twice, 2 years later in 2009. And the way we were treated was terrible, and the IPCC report they put together, which I've got, and I put on Facebook on my account anyway, they've got me down as, from India, which I'm not, and they've got complaints about me because I bought my granddaughter a teddy bear, and all of the stuff, and then I've got Munchausen syndrome, which I don't have, and that was the police officer Neil Adamson. So yes, I want justice for what they've done to Lee, and obviously they're just sticking their head in the sand with the IPCC and IPOC at the moment. Have contacted the Labour Party, nothing they can do about it. So this is why I'm getting help off Sharon to get justice for Lee. But most importantly, I'm concerned about the amount of children that are taken away by the child snatchers, which is what I call them, or Together for Children, because they shouldn't be doing that. And obviously they have a law now which they've been using against parents, and it's called the common purpose training that these teachers and social workers and judges and all these other people and lawyers use against these families. So it's disgraceful, and we need to stop these people taking away the children and fight as hard as we can in the courts of law for children that have been taken away unlawfully by these people. It's not right, it's not good enough, and it's not the way it should be done,
well, I've come up to support you guys, and I respect you very, very much indeed, and was hoping for maybe a few more, but the weather's not actually brilliant today. It's a little bit overcast and drizzly. Have you been doing this some time now, or?
I've been doing this, I've suffered from 1977 with the Northumbria Police Force, and all these different chief constables, Strachan, and Adamson and all the rest of them, and the behaviour, Peter Sutton, Stephen Mitchell, who had Lee's phone at the time of his murder. The ambulance people left Lee to die in the street as well, and they're not certified to say a time of death. The pathologist, the coroner, all of these people are involved in big cover-ups, and we need to expose them. And I'm not alone in this, I have loads of followers, but as well we have to concentrate on the children that are being taken away illegally from their parents and grandparents and all the stuff they get up to,
I come from an abusive background of abusive children's homes, and I was in care from the age of 1 year of age. Mm-hmm. They've actually got on my records that I was in care before I was even born. Mm-hmm. The inconsistencies of the records, mm-hmm. and the redacted parts of the record. Mm-hmm. I'm actually asking now for freedom of information request, mm-hmm. on my records, mm-hmm. which the council can't answer. Mm-hmm. So they've got another 14 days to answer it, and then I will hit them with another freedom of information request. And if they don't ask that, then I will take them to court, because they are supposed to answer the first freedom of information, and not a second or third one. Mm-hmm. And they're just not doing it. I'm doing one with Surrey Police as well, because they were responsible for Operation Brockhurst. Was an investigation into the abuse that happened in children, where up to 300 children were abused, and they're only saying there's about 118. But they've admitted that there is a case to answer, but they won't go public with it. We've not received an apology from any of the councils, and it's like an uphill battle and an uphill struggle for all of us. We're like the rest of everybody else. It's just a cover-up everywhere we go, and the grooming gangs are not even being released by the Rochdale. It's everywhere. It's in London. It's in it's everywhere. It's all over the country. And there's children's homes that have been Kencore in Northern Ireland, Hope Le Grand, Jersey. We've had in Scotland, Warriors in Scotland, Sunderland, and it's widespread all over the country. Poor Melanie Shaw, she's still in the Rampton Mental Institution. She's secured there, and yet they let terrorists free on the streets to kill people on London Bridge. Now, does that make sense?
No.
That a whistleblower is incarcerated into a prison for speaking out about child abuse, and then we have all this rubbish that's come since, about everything else, but all lives matter. It's not just about one life.
It's all life.
It's all lives. It's about the human race. It's not about one race. It's about the human race. And children's lives matter as well. And this is why we're here today. All lives matter. So let's just stand back a little bit and just get a shot of this. And you can see on here.
I actually put this on my Facebook and I screen snapped outside the old police stations in the North East, well, in Newcastle now, Sunderland and South Shields, so that you could see it outside the police stations on my account. And I sent it to Sharon, and Sharon, I did an interview as well with Sharon and Katie, you know, and so it's all out there, you know. But this is a case of me being called a prostitute because Lee's white. And I'm not a prostitute. But you see the skip rats in the police force, but you want them in their lives, you know.
This is the thing that we get. We get people. They get called names. It's like when I was in Beecham, I was called a retard because I wasn't very well educated and I was backward. They called me a retard, and they used to slap you around the head and beat you. And they used to use carbolic soap and put it in your eyes and in your mouth, and scrub you with a floor scrubbing brush and hit you and slap you and beat you. And yeah, you was kind of tortured. If you didn't eat your meals, you was given them the next day. The cruelty to children, and what they seem to forget is that they put us in harm's way. They had a duty of care, and what they don't accept is the fact they don't take responsibility for that duty of care. Now, even the police to this day, they have a duty of care.
That's right.
And they do not recognise their own duty of care until someone gets off their arse and takes them to court under common law or something like that. Then we really need to fight this head on, and we're coming together, we're getting stronger, and we are going to get this big demonstration in London where it was cancelled for the 16th of May, and we would have had literally thousands. The actual police closed Whitehall down because we was going to march from Trafalgar Square to Whitehall, and all the abuse victims were going to speak outside Downing Street. So we cancelled that, and we've done everything the police have asked us to. We've always done a rally peacefully and tried to comply with the police, whatever they said, and we've always done it peacefully. We've never done anything with any issues or anything like that. Ours is about protecting children tomorrow and the day after. Is there anything else you want to say, Barbara? I know I've gone on a little bit, sorry.
I'm the only person that's had to have a son buried twice in Northumbria Police Force. Tonya Lawson, at 4:30, the day before Lee's birthday on the 16th of October, put Lee's body parts in a box on my doorstep. So I had to get another funeral in 2009 when I raised the money for a second funeral. And how did the police answer that? They ignore it. And the Chief Constable, I gave him till the 2nd of March to get in touch with me and apologise publicly at the monument, and also, you know, pay compensation for what they've done to me and my family since 1977. But all they did in the IPCC report, which I've got a copy of from the Race Relations in London, is rubbish me and my family, and did not mention anything about the murder inquiry, and the people involved, like Mark Costello, shouldn't have been there because it was related to the 3 killers. But they allowed that kind of behaviour to go on. Stephen Preston sent me many emails about giving Lee's belongings back, which I haven't received yet. So they send these emails and letters to you, and you know, all these the chief constables from Strachan all the way up to this day of time, and they don't respond because they ignore people because they think we're stupid and they think we're thick and we're not going to go away. I'm a fighter, and so the people I mix with and friends and Sharon, we're fighters. We're not going to go away till we get justice for Lee and justice for the children that get taken away from their parents.
Well said, Barbara. Brilliantly. Well said. That will go on my stream on the Beach Home Survivors page tonight. I will put it on there. And if you follow the link
I will, yeah.
on Facebook and then I'll put it on YouTube as well. And then it'll be on my show on Monday, when I go live on Monday on YouTube at 6 p.m.
Well.
So thank you, Barbara. I'm just going to see if I can... Brian, can I have a quick word? Brian, can I have a quick word?
Hi.
I'm with Brian. Hello, Brian. How you doing, mate?
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I've come down today to support what's happening in Sunderland. Obviously, anti-child abuse, because we all need to come together. And obviously, with me being involved with this for nearly 32 years, I've had to show my face. Obviously, it's not a big turnout, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how big or how small you are. It's what matters. It's a principle of what matters. There's more police here than
is people.
than a Sunderland football match.
Yeah. I noticed that myself. I looked around and there's more constabulary here than there are people, so it says a lot, doesn't it?
Yes, it does indeed.
It's instead of being here and keeping their eye on us, why aren't they going and getting these child abusers and doing something about child abuse rather than standing watching us?
I think so. I think some of the police forces are, but there again, some of the front line can only go as far as they can without it being stopped from the hierarchy. You know.
We know it's the higher ranking officers that do this, and I've just written to the Metropolitan Police Commissioner. Is it Crisana Dick? Is it Crusader Dick? Crisana Dick? And one of her personal assistants replied. She didn't even have the decency to reply to a letter. So I've now sent her response to my MP, and my MP's now got a copy of the Metropolitan Police's response, as well as copies have gone out to everybody, and they're on the internet as well. So, and I'm bombarding Hammersmith and Fulham Council and Wandsworth Council with freedom of information requests to try and get to the bottom of it, because at the end of the day, they put children in harm's way.
Well, this is what I'm saying. Doesn't it say when the local councils are not giving the information that you're entitled to, which makes me personally think that with the likes of Beachhome, it's a lot bigger than ever.
It is. I mean, there was a paedophile network, because if you talk about Jimmy Savile visiting Beachhome in 1972, right, and you talk about there are stories, but I can't really go into them now because of the legal parameters that surrounds that. And until we can actually get it in court, there's certain things we can say and certain things we can't say. And of course, we're surrounded by
Her Majesty's.
Her Majesty's.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so you got anything else you want to say, Brian, about?
No, I mean, obviously within the next couple of weeks I'll be doing a few more interviews and stuff. But I have eased back a little bit, you know. But
you've been a great campaigner, Brian. You've been doing this for some 33 years. Is it 33 years?
I've been getting on for 33 years.
I mean, 33 years campaigning in your area. I mean, we're in Sunderland. This is your area. This is your backyard. And the child abuse in Sunderland is is not even talked about, is it?
No, not compared to other cities. What it is with Sunderland, obviously it's been Labour run for years, but it was only ever run Tory once. The Labour Party have so much control of this city. They have, especially within the children's services. Over the years, there's been 3 Ofsted reports. The first Ofsted report was condemning them, obviously. Obviously, there was the 2 deaths of 2 children. What social services knew, they allowed them children to stop in the custody of their parents. The next 2 days later, they were dead. They're still reeling from that fact, but the fact is, Sunderland Social Services is useless. Sunderland Social Services, family services, need a complete kick up the ass, without swearing. And the fact is, we're not the only services. It's not the only services. It's happening all over the country.
That's true. Well said, Brian. Very, very well said. And as you can see, as I say, it's not a great turnout today. It's just about 9 of us that have turned up. And as I say, we're surrounded more by police than there is anything else. So there we go. That's live from Sunderland and Children Matter. And we've done a little bit with Barbara, and then she's talking about Lee. And we've done a little bit with Brian. So we brought you some bit from Sunderland today. So thank you everybody for watching.